What's happening, guys? How's it going? So, yeah, let's talk about this Devin Haney story that's been going on around on social media and YouTube, man. A lot of people have been talking about this guy, Devin Haney, the new WBC lightweight champion of the world. Um, what do I think of this guy? What do I think of this Devin Haney guy? And do I think he's any good? And I just want to chime in on a lot of the stuff that's been talked about. Like this guy's being talked about as a potential guy to fight Lomachenko, and yeah, they they basically the American boxing establishment is that desperate to get rid of these Eastern Europeans and have a rival for these guys, and Lomachenko is that big of a threat that the WBC the WBC literally took Lomachenko's belt off him, and for no reason whatsoever, and gave it to Devin Haney. It's reminiscent of when they did the same thing for Chavez Jr. Do you remember that when they took Sergio Martinez's belt off him and literally just handed it to Chavez Jr. and gave Sergio like the diamond super duper ultra mega WBC trophy belt or whatever it was called, and and basically said, yeah, he's a champion, but he's also the champion, even though the officially sanctioned WBC champion was now Chavez Jr. Well, it's the same situation here. We've got the same situation with Devin Haney. Clearly, the WBC were desperate to have Devin Haney for whatever reason holding their belt. And I mean, the fight that he had before getting handed the title, that Zawa Abdulayev fight, I saw that one live. It was one of the most blatant, fixed fights I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, Zawa Abdulayev just showed up and literally just laid down in 4 rounds. Didn't even throw a punch. Didn't even try to impose his will on the fight at all. He was just basically there for the paycheck, and it was an embarrassing state of affairs. I mean, the zone right now. I mean, they are becoming an absolute scourge on boxing. They really are. I mean, with their absolute their predetermined outcomes for their fights, and their absolute blatant fixes that they've been engaging in lately. I mean, the zone really does need to fail. I really do hope these guys fail. I hope that company crashes and burns miserably. And Devin Haney, because this video is about him. Devin Haney is basically the best way I can sum up this guy is he's the next in a long list of black guys who Lomachenko is supposed to be scared of. That's the best way I can sum up Devin Haney, man. He's the next Gary Russell. He's the next Nicholas Walters. He's the next um, he's the next Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's that guy, that superior black man that Lomachenko is scared to fight because he's so technical and he's so fast and he's gonna break his jaw. And Lomachenko's just a caveman. He's an inferior Eastern European caveman who only fights bums. And yeah, he will never fight one of the superior race. And it's funny when he fights these guys and when he convincingly whips their ass and sends them into retirement near enough. I mean, we haven't heard from Gary Russell since. We haven't heard from Nicholas Walters since. We haven't heard from Rigondeaux since. I mean, since Lomachenko put a beating on them boys, he sent them all into obscurity, and they're either fighting on shitty ass little local shows that no one cares about, or they've straight up retired and disappeared. Um, it's funny how these guys were the shit when they were around, before they fought Lomachenko. But as soon as they fought Lomachenko, this little cult of racist LGBT mutts who support those guys, all of a sudden they forgot they ever existed, and now they're jumping onto Devin Haney. He's the next guy. He's the next one, the next superior black man that Lomachenko is scared of. Um, Please make that fight. Please make Vasyl Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. I need another good laugh because it'll be so funny when Lomachenko makes that boy quit, and they all of a sudden these dudes who had jumped on Devin Haney's nuts, they'll forget he ever existed, and they'll probably jump on Javonte Davis or somebody like that, or Tevin Farmer. Like they'll completely forget that Devin Haney ever existed, man. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Just a little quick video here and just sum up my thoughts on this clown Devin Haney and the shit he's been talking. And it baffles my mind that we're even talking about this guy. it baffles my mind that we're even paying this Devin Haney guy any attention, because the guy hasn't done shit. Had a bunch of fixed fights. In his last fight, he took on a journeyman and looked like trash. So yeah, I mean, he's just a prospect holding a belt. Okay, he's the same shit as what Chavez Jr. was, a prospect who had a bunch of fixed fights and a bunch of gifts, holding a belt that he didn't deserve. That's all Devin Haney is. So keep supporting Devin Haney. Keep jumping on this guy's nuts and keep trying to push this guy, because when Lomachenko embarrasses him, it's going to be all the more sweet. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and yeah, God bless.